Today on the channel, we take this unboxing to the max with the Marvel Legends Maximum Deadpool plus dupe.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today on the channel, Maximum Series return, this time with Deadpool. But for all your Deadpool, Maximum Series needs, and a whole lot more, hit up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get a deal out there. We know how that goes. Shout out to DJC Collectibles. But the Maximum Series returns, and we're going to take it to the max here today. What, Todd McFarlane? You're interrupting already? Oh, taking it to the max? No, not that max. He's talking about the Max restaurant from Saved by the Bell. That's not a real thing, but it kind of is a real thing sometimes. I think they have pop-ups, so look into that. Do that while I'm doing this one here. But Todd McFarlane from the couch loves himself some Deadpool, as did I once upon a time. As I was a little kid collecting comic books, guess what? I was right there for X-Force #1. X-Force series stole my heart in the 90s. Never let go. And a lot of good memories from that early run of X-Force as they transitioned from New Mutants to X-Force. And then, of course, the Toy Biz toy line of X-Force back in the day was an all-time favorite. So many great figures. I would love to see Marvel Legends do a fresh take on that. Can we get GW Bridge? Where's GW Bridge? Where's Grizzly? Let's get some of those characters. I would love to see that. But Domino, of course, another good one we got recently. Richter we've got recently. And then Deadpool we're getting here at this one. But Deadpool, no stranger to the Marvel Legends line. We've got a lot of different incarnations over the years, and now we got another one right here. But I always go back to those early X-Force days, checking out Deadpool. A little bit of a different character than what he's morphed into over the years, but I go way back from Deadpool in the earliest days, and it's crazy to see how he has stolen a lot of people's hearts and really became, some people might say, a Mount Rushmore of pop culture superheroes currently. Obviously, you always got your Superman, your Batman, your Spider-Man, your Hulks, but Deadpool on the rise. Is there very many other superheroes of his time frame that have ascended to that level? There's not many, so they're doing something right with Deadpool, but we're going to see if they're doing something right with this Maximum version of Deadpool from Marvel Legends. We're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. We'll do some comparisons later on in the video. Maximum style packaging here. Now, we had Spider-Man. We unboxed that, and we had Hulk. We unboxed that. Now we're transitioning to Deadpool here. It's interesting to see. This is a very controversial line, as many of us know. Nobody likes the price points. And some people say, hey, the regular Marvel Legends sometimes better than the Maximum, like the Hulk, for instance. We'll see what happens with this one here. I like the inclusion of Dupe. Dupe is a deep cut character, obviously. There was a Toy Biz Dupe many years ago. I didn't like the Toy Biz ones, but I always wanted the Dupe figure. I should have got it long ago. I've been kind of watching it on eBay the last couple of years, never pulled the trigger. Now I don't have to. And that goes to the thing where you put your business hat on. A lot of people say, oh, they re-release something or something new comes out. It doesn't hurt the value of the old one. Well, here's a perfect example. I immediately deleted that search list for that dupe because I don't need that dupe. I got this dupe now. I'm good. I don't need to pay that extra money. And that's what happens with some of these re-releases. So I always say it on the channel, shouldn't be investing your money in toys. Yes, there's some key pieces that maybe are a good investment, but for the most part, do it for fun, do it for enjoyment, don't do it for investing. If you want to invest, put it in a 401k, something like that. But here we are, Marvel Legends Maximum Series, big window box, looking very good. 14 and up on this one. We know 13-year-olds can't handle Deadpool, and we see it right here in the age restrictions. Side of the package, there's Deadpool and Dupe. Deadpool on this side, and then on the back, look at that. Swinging into action, almost like a young Spider-Man there. Deadpool looking pretty good. Marvel Legends, nothing else going on, no jibber jabber, no nothing like that, no file card. What are we doing? Spider-Man style, see you later, didn't go very far. Let's get old Deadpool out, nothing too fun in the packaging. See you later, goodbye. Little plastic prison, we get a bunch of different weapons. We got his swords, his katana blades, if you will. Plenty of extra hands, that's Maximum. And then we get Dupe, more weapons, more guns, extra heads, a lot of stuff going on in this pack, as you can imagine. It's Maximum, after all. But I'm going to take this one to the max offline as I'm going to get them all out of the package. We'll be back talking all things Maximum Deadpool and Dupe. All right, let's take Deadpool to the max. And let's start with the accessories as we usually do. And we'll start with the hands, I guess. 2 traditional red gloved gripping hands right here. 2 fists of fury. You got to have the fist, of course. Then we do get the thumbs up. Always Deadpool, the merc with the mouth, as he's known in some circles. You got the thumbs up, and then you got the pointing finger hand. One of those kind of things there. Point, do whatever you want to do. Out of the package, we do get that other pointer hand, and then we get the peace sign hand. He's throwing it up, of course. So can you put a price on peace? I don't know. Dave Mustaine asked me that once upon a time, and still haven't given him my answer. I will hopefully September 2026 when I see him in concert. 2 trigger finger hands here as well. Got to have those. I don't know about you, but for me, Deadpool's got to be ready to go. He's going to be blasting away with some of these weapons here. But for these weapons here, we do have effect pieces. 3 effect pieces. Probably could have used a couple of more, maybe a little bit bigger effect pieces. Maybe also some of the smoke ones, like, you know, he just got done firing his gun. Would have liked to seen this because at the end of the day, it is maximum and it's a maximum price. We should have an accessory like that. That does seem to be a little bit of a miss, but not the biggest deal in the world, but give us a couple more effect pieces. We know they have the mold. Might as well use it. Maybe, maybe not. Now, we do get dynamite here. Looks like something out of Looney Tunes back in the day. Just very comedic relief here. It's, lit at the top and it's going to explode. It's like hot potato back and forth between him and Dupe. Maybe if you want to. Once again, a little bit more comedy. You got a burrito or is it a chimichanga? Why not both? Looking good here. It's always wild to me. Todd McFarlane, you ever experienced this? You know Mexican restaurants pretty good. You're living down in Arizona right now. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Todd McFarlane, he says he's a Mexican culinary expert, that he knows all the great places. And that one time I went down there to visit you, you said, we got off the plane. Got right off that plane, you had the limo there. It was nice. It was a nice old school limo, and it even had the bull horns on the front, like a young Larry Hagman once upon a time. But you picked me up at the airport, and you go, I got to take. I said, man, I'm hungry. He goes, I'm starving too. I'm going to take you right to this fancy taco place that I love. You've never had anything like it in your life. You remember this? Yeah, of course you do. So Todd picks me up for the airport. We go there, and he takes me immediately down the street. It was really close, which I was like, oh, great, it's close. We pull in. It's a Taco Bell, and you're like, you got to try this gordita. It's going to change your life forever. This is the best Mexican place ever. And I had to fill you in. Todd's in his own bubble. He's drawing. He's doing art. He's making toys. He doesn't understand these restaurants, that Taco Bell is a worldwide chain at this point. It's everywhere. It's on every street corner almost. And he thought it was the greatest taco place ever. What are we doing there? But I was going to ask you, Todd, and I don't even think you know, but feel free to chime in. But you ever had one of those chimichangas? And I like a good chimichanga. You know, beef or chicken. Not really a pork chimichanga guy. I don't eat much pork anymore. It's a story for another day. Dirty animals. It's wild. It's a little work-related story. Save that for another day. But you ever get a chimichanga where they put the piece of potato inside? It's like a little mystery food hunt. You're eating and oh, there's a piece of potato. It's like one little chunk of potato and it's like hidden in the chimichanga somewhere. Is that only in my area? I don't know. It's a wild thing, but it's a nice surprise. And I like potatoes. I like chimichangas. Mix it up a little bit. We get a little chimichanga right there. Todd doesn't know anything about it. You never heard of that story? Maybe it's just my area. I don't know. But if you've ever had chimichanga with a piece of potato in it, sound it off in the comments below. 2 pistols here, 2 handguns. You know we're here for that. Is this a Desert Eagle? I don't know my weapons. Todd doesn't know his weapons either. But we got 2 black pistols ready for that. And then we get this. Once again, I don't know what this weapon's called, but it reminds me of G.I. Joe Crimson, or the G.I. Joe officers back in the day, and Cobra, of course. Cobra officers used to have this. Is this a Russian weapon? Is that what this is? For some reason, I feel like this is a Russian weapon. Maybe I'm just dreaming that. But it does look good. This is a very nice piece. I like the brown with the dirty wash against the black. Get that huge magazine right here. Chimichanga Monthly. Makes sense. On brand. Love that. And then we got a crazy big Rob Liefeld type gun from back in the day. A big blasting gun. Very scientific looking. Not as real world looking, but very cool. Is this like a kickstand on the end? It almost looks like it. Very nice though. You know this is shooting some serious damage out of there. And as we talked about those effect pieces, plug them on in. Blasting away. Blasting away. And then we do get the big gun here. Look at this. This looks like something Roadblock might have in the G.I. Joe team. Is this reuse from that? I don't think it is. You got the little stand on the end as well on this one there. So an extra attention to detail. Unfortunately, the stand does not come down. That's a huge miss. But I believe, is this brand new? I feel like we maybe had this before somewhere. Or did we get this in like a shield pack or something along those lines? You do get the magazine drum, the clip drum, the weapons off the side, the bullets, whatever you want to call it. But this kickstand should come down. It looks like it's going to, but it does not have a hinge on it. So that is a miss too. All in black here. You got the little handle if you need to carry it. Is what it is. But he's loaded for bear and he's not done. When the weapons fail, he moves over to some hand-to-hand combat weapons. We got a little knife here with silver blade, black handle. And then we got 2 short katana blades. It's funny, is when I originally found out about Deadpool, when we first saw Deadpool, he was more about the katana blades, it seemed like, than the big heavy artillery. But it's the morphing, the growth of the character over the years. So we got all kinds of weapons that he does enjoy, And I guess we'll go to the figure/accessory next. It's our boy Dupe here, looking like a potato. Speaking of potatoes here, a green potato. That's what he looks like. Got some very alien-like eyes. Got those teeth there. Got the X logo on his chest. What's Dupe up to these days? Wasn't he, I don't know what he's up to. Wasn't he part of like the Great Lake Avengers briefly or something like that too? Some weird sub-team for a little bit. But it does fit with Deadpool, his quirkiness, of course. Where's Squirrel Girl when we need him? But you do have this. He does come with a little flight stand. Kind of reminds you of Slimer a little bit from the Ghostbusters. He's got a little bit of that vibe there. But it is Dupe, and it is an accessory, but it's also a figure. Glad to have this. And as I said, saved me a lot of money from trying to track down that Toy Biz one at a crazy price. Going to roll with that one. Just like we're going to roll out like Optimus Prime with this Deadpool here. 2 heads are better than 1. You get a traditional Deadpool head here. Looking very good. You got the black around the eyes. You got the white eyes. You got the red mask. Looking very nice. Looks like Deadpool to me. That's what I think of with Deadpool. And then the second head here. Now, Todd McFarlane, you're on the couch here today. Todd McFarlane, genius, of course. Legend in the industry. Toys, comics, we know it all. How do you feel about this hamburger head Deadpool here? Of course, many years later, or 6 months, I don't know when we found out for the first time that he had kind of like a Freddy Krueger face or a hamburger head Spawn face. Todd, I know you've told me a few times, I was hoping you'd tell it on camera here today, how you hate that they use this, that you feel it is a direct ripoff of our boy Spawn. Yeah, you still feel that way? Yeah, he said it in sign language, but in a plot twist, he used his toes to do it. Anybody that can sign with their toes is a real one. You guys know that no sign language, you know it's not the easiest. Try doing it with your toes, and that's what Todd McFarlane's doing over there. It's a legendary thing. It's a power move. You're right, Todd McFarlane. But he does got the more hamburger head under here. He's got the mask up just a little bit, giving us a little peek. Maximum Deadpool, though, we should have had this head, the transition head, and the full unmasked head. That's what we should have had in this pack. I feel that is a bit of a miss, and I feel like we've had this before as well. There was that Deadpool figure from Marvel Legends where he was in his boxers. We got a head very similar to this, but it does look good. It is nice to get some extra head here. It's always good for a little head, right, Todd? But could have used one more piece of head here. But now we're going to dive into this figure. We do got the katana holders. You can store those in the back. Always love to be able to store as much as possible on the figure. We do got a holster on the waist here, and we got a holster on the side, so we can store both of those. That's nice to see. Knife holder down below, so we can store all of our weapons outside of the big guns. But I guess, we got 3 big guns. So we got one that's going to have to go to the fodder pile. Not sure which one that will be, but we're not going to be able to hold everything on this Deadpool. But Deadpool rocking the red and black attack, looking very good right here. Classic colors, looking very nice. Got the vest over the top, holding in the katana blade holders. You got the waist belt there, even the Deadpool logo in there. Pockets throughout. You never know what you might need to store in there. Got some shin guards down low, looking very nice. Darren Dutch Dalton style. Rip to the Dutchman. Philadelphia Phillies legend. Got those representing. Got the black boots on him here as well. Very nice. Got the forearm guards in black. But it is Deadpool. You look at this, you're like, yeah, I know who this is. This is Deadpool. And Deadpool, he's got a lot of articulation because it's maximum Deadpool. So we get the head, up, down, back, forth, side to side. Then we do get a little neck articulation. Not very much, but a little bit in there. You do get the bicep cut. Got to have that. You got the butterfly shoulders. Arms all the way around. Oh my gosh, so tight. So tight. What are we doing here? So tight. Unbelievable tightness on this one. Don't like that. And then it kind of splays out on you. So I don't know. I'll have to play around with that. Man, I'd have to heat this up a little bit. Almost looks like the arm's ready to come off. Tighten it up in there. Very squeaky. But we do get the bicep cut, as I said. Double jointed, pinless elbows. Playing all the hits. It better be playing the hits at the price point, as we know. Now, you do get the hands removable, back, forth, side to side. You do get the ab crunch up top, which I guess is more of a dumbbell all-around Spider-Man style, plus ab crunch down low. So we do get that. No traditional waist on this one. Drop down hips. I thought there was. Does not seem to be drop down hips, but you do get the leg goes up for the big boot if you need it to. Double jointed pinless knees, boot cut, ankles, back force, side to side, up and down. Our usual articulation in the maximum department. And of course, in tribute to Todd McFarlane from the couch, we got the toe articulation as well. So we get some of that fancy articulation if need be. But a good figure. Now, we've had a lot of Deadpools, and I don't know, does this feel maximum? Does this feel extra special to you? I guess we get a lot of a loadout here. We get a lot of stuff, but not necessarily needing all of this stuff here. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this figure. I still don't know how I feel about the maximum line. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. I like the figures so far. Even the Hulk, some people didn't like it. I like the Hulk figure as well. But it feels like the price point doesn't quite equal the quality. It's close. And I can look at this. I put the business hat on. I try to understand all this stuff. And you try to understand the business side of this stuff. I think it's close, but it feels like it needs just a little bit more. And out of the 3 released so far, I feel Deadpool needs the most moreness. I think one more head would have been good here. Maybe a couple of extra effect pieces for the guns. And who knows, maybe another gun or another blade or something would have went a little farther with this one, made it a little bit more palatable. That's what I'm going to say on that. He does fit on a ringside stand, hopefully. Yes, he does. So he fits on the Mattel stand if need be. But he looks good, but is it that much different than Deadpools we've had in the past? And I did grab a few. This was one from way back when. Very similar color and kind of style to this one. And as we can see right here, a lot of reuse. A lot of reuse between these two, which makes sense. Reuse is the name of the game, but we do have reuse between these. So I don't know. Depending how you feel about that, you might be okay saying, hey, I can stick with my old Build-A-Figure one from once upon a time. I mean, it's been a lot of years since this was released, though. That's one thing to take note of. But we do get that. And then we do get one where when I close my eyes, I still go back to Deadpool from the original days. A little bit skinnier, a little bit different color pattern from his time in X-Force. And this was on like a throwback card once upon a time. Might even have been a Comic-Con exclusive or something. I can't remember. But always did like this one. It's kind of the yin and yangs of Deadpool here. The more modern day and then the early day. And I guess this is kind of a blend of both in some ways. But it's an interesting figure. It's worth a pickup if you're all in on Deadpool. I think dupe helps this pack a lot. It feels like a 2-in-1 getting another character, especially a pricey character we needed in our collection that maybe we missed out on if you're like me. So there is stuff to like about this. Just wish the price point was a little bit less, or we got a little bit of the stuff I mentioned earlier. That would be my biggest gripe here. But I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on the old Maximum Deadpool. Let me know in the comments down below. I know somebody's going to say in the comments, well, this should be $24 figure. Well, we also got to be realistic, unfortunately, so we can't just pretend. But let me know your thoughts once again. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon. Yes, Patreon YouTube channel memberships. Plenty of business over there. A lot of stuff every single day. And your best way to support the channel. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. Conveniently enough, the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show. Available each and every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for Maximum Deadpool and my burrito-loving friend, gordita-loving friend, Todd McFarlane, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?